This is the last call for Last Call Fantasy Football
It
season
is.
finale. So, not like we've been. Damn, were you trying to like do a toast thing?
No, I was just preparing my drink.
Dude, that was so loud.
I
You gotta start this bitch over. That was
gotta
crazy
blast
loud.
yours one last time,
I
folks.
actually thought it sounded like you dropped it, but all right. This is last call for fantasy football. I don't know why I say that. It's not last call for fantasy football. That's the slogan. It is last call fantasy football. Season 1 is done. In the books.
It is. What a glorious season.
And Justin came out on top
Kiss the
with
ring, baby.
his Mickey Mouse bullshit
What?
over there. Oh my god. Is that thing actually heavy?
Yeah, it's actually pretty nice. I have a plaque coming for it with my name and stuff, but that's
It
not here
still
yet.
hasn't got there? Damn.
No, those things take a while.
I know they got to custom make it, but yes, that just means that Justin is our main league, our champion. Finished the regular season at 9-5, made it through the first round very easily. You beat Caleb by about
Yes,
40 points.
I scored 189 points or something like that.
And then the second week wasn't much more of a fight. I think it was what, a 20 plus point win, something like that. It wasn't like as far fetched, but it never really was in doubt.
Oh wait, no. Second week was Caleb with the 189. The first week I
No,
had it, but it
no,
wasn't.
because you beat Connor, you beat Caleb by 40. So it was the championship
I
week.
had 3 weeks. I had to beat Gonzo.
Oh, that's
Um,
right, because you didn't get the
beat
bye
him.
like your boy.
Yeah, I ended up only beating him by like 20, I think.
I
But
mean, that's still pretty. That's a lot for.
yeah, I pretty much I handled the. I was never really sweating, other than like right before the game started. You know.
Yeah, I've got it here. You finished the quarterfinal. You beat Gonzo by 50, but he had a doo-doo stain of a 74 to
I beat him by
128.
50.
Yeah, 74 to
Oh, shit.
128. And then you beat
Yeah,
Caleb by 86 points, 189 to 103. And then you beat Connor by 30 exactly. So
nice.
Justin's team showed up
Wow,
for the
that's
playoffs.
a big margin of victory.
I mean, your average points in
You
the
count those up.
playoffs, I mean, 142, 189, and 128 in standard is pretty good. Justin
Yeah.
also finished the season with 3 of the top uh, performers, like the top scoring. Like if you made the best team
Oh
out of the
yeah.
starting lineup with Brock Bowers, Bijan Robinson, and Jamar Chase, that duo carried like crazy in the playoffs and throughout the year, to be honest. But
Yeah.
and
Well,
Jonathan Taylor really saved you, or not saved you, but he contributed. Bijan
oh,
contributed.
Jonathan Taylor was Jonathan Taylor and Jane Daniels is what really won it for me.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels against the Eagles when
Um,
he was supposed to suck had damn
yeah,
near 50 points. So
and Jamar Chase actually didn't do great. I don't think.
I mean, they're fine. He was good.
Yeah, he was just good, but yeah, he didn't. Surprisingly, he wasn't the one who like won it for me because that's
No,
how it got in.
it was your two backs. It was Bijan and Johnny touchdown. So congrats to I'm Brock Hard right now, as he kept the same moniker throughout the whole season because he
I did.
snagged Brock Bowers in the 13th round. The same round I
Sure.
drafted DeAndre Hopkins 3 picks prior.
uh,
That one haunts me. Although I had Trey
yeah,
McBride, so like who knows? Maybe I could have traded and upgraded another position because
yeah.
you can.
Well, I didn't even. I had Njoku already at that point too, so I drafted Njoku over him.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it's we will do an episode where we go over our
Oh, for sure.
our draft and see kind of the pros and cons, what happened, whatnot. But if you've made it this far, if you've made it 5 minutes and 17 seconds into this episode already, you're probably wondering, why are we dressed in suit and tie? See, I was trying to remember what the award show music is for like the Grammys or something, but I couldn't. But anyways, this is in honor of the Golden Globes just happening. And the season
Is there
ended.
a Grammys like walk-up song?
Yeah.
I've never watched the Grammys at all.
Yeah, they have a song. So yeah.
Probably like some elevator music. that's ours. That's ours for sure.
This just ends with a big old.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're here to do the Last Call of Fantasy Football award show.
Award show.
We really need a soundboard or something out here.
Dude, we make our own sounds, all right?
I know. But
all right.
Before
I can't wait.
I was going to say, before you ruin this, you need to kick us off for one final regular season ceremonious drink. Hold on.
I'm the world's most interesting man.
Not as interesting as me.
Dos Equis.
You wish you were as
Oh, wow. Dude, you know what's funny?
What?
I almost poured this Dos Equis into like a whiskey glass. You got me beat there.
Yes. But I am the most interesting man in the world. And every wine
and
lover.
You have
look at that.
One of our awards in your hand right there.
I do indeed.
What we will one day call the award, but until they pay us some money.
You know, I almost, because I have a bottle of champagne, I almost was like, you know what? And then I was like, nah, this ain't on brand. It's got to be a light beer in this cup. So,
oh yeah,
one final time.
Funny.
Let's kick this off.
I feel like that's going to taste weird.
We about to find out. Ready? Still tastes good. But I will say, it's kind of tripping my brain out. My brain wants to think.
Because you think that looks like champagne.
I think it's a mimosa. I had about 17 too many on the ship, on a cruise ship when I went on vacation, and I got used to like holding this like this and like the thin rim around the glass. My brain thought it was a mimosa, but it's.
I'm starting to like wine more and more. It's growing on me.
Get the fuck out.
It'll never replace light beer.
You're a disgrace to the show. Anyways, I will put this aside before I inevitably drop this and ruin my whole setup. So, we're going to kick this off. We have a series of awards under a series of different criteria. Throughout the year, we had our feelings played with in both the highs and the lows. We had some moments that brought some tears to our eyes.
Some real lows.
And sometimes we just wanted to cry.
Sometimes
we were going to cheer and scream from the balcony. Ja'Marr Chase.
Dude, I cry.
Saquon Barkley.
Every time.
Or you could also have cheered Jalen Waddle.
Waddle.
DeAndre Hopkins. But nothing will ever replace these coveted awards that we're about to announce right now. We both picked.
Yeah, baby!
Since we're not quite yet to the point where we will have our members vote and give us their answers. Exactly. So we're here doing it ourselves.
Hey,
it was kind of fun.
Now that we proved that Last Call of Fantasy Football could come home with a ring.
Yes.
We did it.
We can beat up.
And we're going to start uploading some receipts on Instagram too.
Absolutely, man. We and to prove, I mean, this is
fucking ruined it.
You didn't like my absolutely? Well, you know what, man? As long as we can prove that we made it this season. We may have missed a couple of episodes here and there, but we never missed a week.
Look,
we never missed a whole week. I don't think. Maybe we did. No, we at least. Well, okay, I will say.
Look, we went through a hurricane.
Yeah, hurricane. Okay.
Well, 2 hurricanes.
2 hurricanes. So I don't even count that. I don't even count it at all.
So me and Kyle both had to evacuate our homes at some point.
Even when I got home, I didn't have power. So we might have missed a week or so.
Yeah.
But, but we're here. We finished the year. It was a fun year.
We tried.
Justin came home with the dub. My team had a awful playoff run. Actually, I have it pulled up here still. I finished I had a bye, so that was a win, right? And then I laid an egg with 85 points in the second round. Duh. But we talked about that. No need to rehash and reopen old wounds. So my team sucked in the playoffs, but I had the best overall team record-wise throughout the year. So I think we've established ourselves as knowing what the hell we're talking about and reacting.
We know what we're talking about.
In very appropriate and rational ways.
And if you've seen our latest video, you know that I can't do a Jersey accent.
It lasted about 12 seconds.
And it wasn't good from the first second.
No, it was not. Well, without further ado.
All right, we're getting the first award.
Yes. And for the first time, I'm not reading off my sheet. Old school, baby. We got papers.
I always go old school.
Well, I wanted to read this like an actual award ceremony. So I have them on paper. Thank you. Oh, thank you for passing me these. Yeah.
I have now added something to my necklace.
Is that the ring on your necklace?
Kiss the ring.
That's actually so funny.
I might actually
dare you to keep it there
forever.
I dare you to keep it there. And people are going to see that at work or something and be like, "Oh, what did you got that for?" My fancy football ring. No big deal. It's a pure painted.
Dude, I just now realized you're wearing a fucking bow tie.
Yeah, bro. Well,
it blended in with the shirt.
I know. Well, I'm playing it off because I sucked ass and died. So this is me dressed for the funeral as well as the award show. But in all reality, I can't find my white shirt to where it would actually look like a black tie event. But I mean, I still clean up good. You know what I'm saying? Actually, so behind the scenes embarrassment, I had a white polo shirt on first because I couldn't find my white button down. But the suit buttons down way here, so you could see it just end right there, and it looked really stupid.
Yeah.
So I had to keep it classy, keep it cute, cash, all that jazz. All right. I will start. I went from top down, so we can do this. These series of awards are based on our personality, our sense of humor, and the emotions we felt throughout the year, with some relatable fantasy football context to them.
Indubitably.
So, for the what?
That was a really good show.
Sir. To start it off, the Clenched Butthole Award. It's award that this player made you feel.
Butthole.
The Clenched Butthole Award goes to the player that you would throw in your lineup and you'd have to clench your cheeks as hard as they could and pray for a positive outcome. Sometimes it worked out, sometimes it didn't. You just couldn't get rid of them, so you had to clench them cheeks and hope the doo-doo.
Yeah, they're good enough. Sometimes, but you never knew when. So that player to me this year is, drum roll, and none other than Kansas City's first round wide receiver pick, Xavier Worthy. Wow.
Xavier Worthy is my clenched butthole because the super fast phenom, fastest 40 time ever. He had 6 games of 17 under 5 fantasy points standard, including one game that was -1 points in week 9 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. However,
I forgot about that.
He also had an equal number of games with 12 plus standard points. So that's 12 out of 17 weeks. He was somewhere between less than 5 or 12 plus. And you never knew. He's the type that take an end around and score and you'd be fine for the week. But he also could get 2 targets for 12 yards. Like, what? How? And most of his work was done in the playoffs. And so by then, you're not starting him in the playoffs unless you're like in dire straits and needing of a player. And if you started Xavier Worthy in the fantasy football playoffs, you can't tell me your butthole wasn't clenched. So I stand by it. My 2025 Kyle's Clenched Butthole Award, Xavier Worthy.
I know we were both very excited about him. We thought that he might be the best rookie wide receiver of that class, just because like he had the route running outside of also having the speed, unlike John Ross. But honestly, when DeAndre Hopkins had to come in after Rashee Rice and he was now the one, that was red flag number one. And I just don't think Xavier Worthy's the guy. He's the next Mecole Hardman. He's gonna have a decent career. He might be a little bit better. He might be I think more of like a Brandon Cooks type.
I think he can be yeah, I think that's fair. I see him as a NFL wide receiver too. Like I think
he's not gonna take over Rashee Rice's spot.
Right.
Rashee Rice is gonna come back and dominate.
Yeah, I don't think he's built to be Kansas City's number one wide receiver. Just like he has the same comp to me like Tank Dell, very small, shifty, quick guys. But I don't think that there's a world that Tank Dell, I mean, obviously not now, but, if you put healthy Nico and healthy Tank, you know, like there's a hierarchy to this football shit. Like you just know, looking at a player play style, how they play. That's it for Xavier Worthy. So, like I said, bright future ahead, but he is my Clenched Butthole Award winner this year. Who clenched your booty cheeks?
The person that clenched my booty hole the most this past year is none other than Jaden Reed.
Jaden Reed.
Indubitably.
I don't know when we turn into Severus Snape.
I don't know.
But yeah, no, I almost, he was in strong contention for me.
Yeah, obviously I had him on my team. For me, it wasn't too bad because he started off the season pretty well. I think he had one stinker, but the rest were like either like 9 points or 30 points, so it was fine at the beginning, but then he really fell apart at the end. Some of that might have been due to Jordan Love being injured, but at the end of the day, I think that team wants to run the ball as much as they can and take the weight off of Jordan Love's shoulders.
Yeah, I almost forgot either.
I was in such a pretzel, I'd said just his shoulder. To be fair, he only uses one shoulder.
He's the worst, but go on.
Yeah, anyways. Unfortunately, I think Jaden Reed's going to continue to have this problem. And it's different than like DJ Moore, where if DJ Moore goes to a good quarterback, he's going to be more consistent. But Jaden Reed already has a good quarterback, and he's not consistent. So, unfortunately, somebody that we had high hopes for did not come through this season.
Well, I mean, he was just a type you didn't know what you were going to get either,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, the start of the season, we thought he was the next Debo. Which, truthfully, in the next coming seasons, he has that potential for sure. They just have to script the game more around him because he's not a traditional wide receiver.
Yeah, and he is that like boom bust type of guy, but was also like had the promise of being, Jordan Love's wide receiver one. And when he starts the year off with a 30 burger against the Eagles, you have that expectation that like that ceiling is there throughout the rest of the entire year.
I mean, just for reference, 33% of he was only good, which I say good is over 10 points, 33% of the time this year, which that's pretty bad because it's only 10 points is the line. He was great.
Here, you keep with 16... that. I'll be right back. Keep going.
Okay. Jaden Reed was only great 16% of the times, which it's like 3 or 4 games. That's, over 20 points. That's great. And he was bad 77% of the time. I mean, at that point, going into next season, he's probably going to be. He may honestly be drafted around the same spot as he was last year, maybe a round or two lower, just because the volatility. I mean, he could literally get you 0.7 points. And at that point, like, is it worth putting him in your lineup even if you can get 30 points out of him? I don't know. I guess it depends on your matchup. If you're down, if you're up, whatever. But yeah. Jayden Reed, not so bueno this year. So I hope Kyle's peeing and he didn't clench his butthole too hard.
Just like that, magic. I'm back. Had some rumblies in the tumbler that could not withstand the moment of the award show.
Kyle had a catastrophe just now.
It almost was. In between our break and this abrupt cut, and now we're back that you guys are seeing now. Justin explained to me.
Kyle, hold on. Hold on. What? I just thought about this. Kyle was literally clenching his butthole.
And that's what I would plan the whole thing to say when I came back. And then we had to just restart. But during the clenched butthole award, and I think that's what tricked my mind. I kept thinking about clenching buttholes.
You kept,
and it couldn't be clenched. So both, thank you, Xavier Worthy and Jayden Reed, for releasing me.
Yeah. They had their way with you.
They did. That something did. I don't know if it's my my champagne here or that Wawa breakfast I had. But
champagne.
We will move on. Oh my god, I can't. I'm so down bad. This is crazy. All right. I'll let you start with the next award. You can introduce it as such.
Okay. I don't know if we should do that every time. Should we do that every time?
No.
What do you think? Okay. You know what, bro? Let's just get in the next award, man. Because the next award is all about being a bro.
Yeah, bro.
Dude. So with the next award, we're going to be giving away the Bromance Award, man.
Oh, the bromance. Dude. Who we bromancing?
Dude, Brotato Chip, listen here.
Okay, bro.
So the player that you loved, it wouldn't trade them for the world, is going to be the Brotato Chip Award winner. And for me, it's motherfucking Brock Bowers.
That's a good one, bro. I died.
Oh,
I died. All right. We're off on tonight. We're rusty. We're out of practice.
Fucking sure are, man. Yeah, for me, it's Brock Bowers.
And why would that
obviously, I named my team after him.
Yes, he is Brock Hart
still.
To this day.
Yeah,
you can check.
And he has bro in the name. So that was part of it.
Whoa, broke Bowers. But see, that's like broke. See, that's kind of gay.
What are you talking about?
Because I said like you could make a name like nickname
like
Brock.
Yeah.
But like bro and Brock.
You could just call him
broke. And that's like a bad thing. You know, bro?
You just call him Bro Bowers.
Nah, we'll workshop it.
What about Bro Kabowers?
Bro Kabowers.
Yeah, Bro Kabowers.
Kabow. That's the worst word so ever.
I'm Brock Hart right now. Yeah, so for him, I looked up his stats. He was good 44% of the games, which, like I said, good is over 10 points. That's incredible for a tight end.
He really was over 10 points 40%.
44% of the times, yeah. I mean, that's 44% of the games that you are, gaining points on people.
And listen, that's not even considered that's just over 10. You get 8 points from a tight end. I'm pretty happy if I get 8 points from my tight end.
And honestly, half of those games were like 20 or 15 or 16. So, yeah, I mean, incredible year from Brock Bowers. You were actually the more bullish one going into the season, and I ended up scooping him up.
And just by a complete oversight, bro, it's coming back up this way too.
Oh God.
And just by complete oversight in my drafting, there's no way in hell if I would have realized that Brock Bowers was still on the board, I would have taken D-Hop. So
yeah, unfortunately, he's probably going to go, first or second round next year.
Yeah, 100%. With good reason. I mean, he broke Puka Nakua's rookie reception record after 1 year. He held the record for 1 year, and then Brock came. And it's not even rookie tight end record.
As a tight end.
Yes, it's rookie receptions out of any
position.
Yeah,
that's honestly...
It's bonkers. It's ridiculous.
Bruh, bonkers.
So...
That one didn't land. All right, who's yours? Bruh.
So, like, the dude that's, like, my bro, that was just, like, pure bromance, dude, who I wouldn't trade for the world. And without doing, like, some gimmicky bullshit, like Saquon Barkley or Jamar Chase, like, obviously, like, they're cool and all, but, like, that's not my bro. You know what my bro is? Yeah. My bromance award is none other than Josh Jacobs. That's my bro, Josh.
Oh, shit.
My bro, Josh. Oh, God, I love Josh. Josh.
Dude, I fucking love Josh.
Oh.
Fuck.
Anyways, Josh Jacobs.
How did you go from bro to fucking, what's his name?
Napoleon Dynamite.
Napoleon Dynamite, dude.
Freaking idiot. Oh.
Gosh.
Anyways, no, bromance award, I wouldn't trade him for the world, is Josh Jacobs. So, check it.
Who?
Josh Jacobs. Check it. Listen, motherfucker, you're going to keep disrespecting Mr. Josh. I'm going to make you feel it. So, I traded for Josh Jacobs early in the season. Gave up Derrick Henry, got Josh Jacobs and Tyreek back, whatever. Josh Jacobs scored at least one touchdown every single week since week 7, except for one. But he had over 100 yards from scrimmage in that game. So you were still happy to start him. Since week 7, there's 17 weeks in the season. He scored one touchdown since week 7. And I was
actually surprising. I didn't follow that.
Yeah, he has been insane. He finished as the running back 6 on the year. He was the ADP RB10, so nothing like too crazy, but he over-delivered on his ADP. He finished 6th in the NFL in rushing yards and added 342 receiving yards as well. That's great. And he was great in the playoffs. So he got you there.
Yeah.
He finished you as well. No homo.
What?
Pause.
Bruh.
I mean, his bromance and romance, dude. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he was great the whole year. And he was someone who I just relied upon. And I was going to get into it when you were talking about Jayden Reed. But there is a direct correlation between Jayden Reed being decent at the beginning of the year and Josh Jacobs just being average. It was the touchdown regression. That team decided to run through Josh Jacobs once Malik Davis. No.
Neighbors.
No. Malik Willis. Jesus. Once Jaden. They need to stop having Jayden Reed and Jordan Love should not be on the same team. That's impossible. Jordan Love. Once Jordan Love got hurt, they leaned on Josh Jacobs. They said, hey, we can do this. And he continued to score all of the touchdowns for this team. And
that's when they stopped letting Jayden Reed get rushing touches.
Exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. There's a direct correlation between them deciding to take the ball out of Jordan Love's hands, let Josh Jacobs go crazy, and finish out the year strong. He was someone that it would have taken a lot for me to trade away, and even then, it's like, where else am I going to upgrade? You can't do much better than a touchdown a week since week 7.
Well, so he's also a player that just doesn't have the name.
Well, this is a bro that we're in love with. We wouldn't trade for the world. Obviously, I could go up here and I could say, the top 3 at the position, obviously. Yeah. But he's someone that.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying for trading, he was just somebody you got to hold on to, just like Brian Robinson, because you're not going to get the value back because he doesn't have a name.
Right. So, without further ado, I will now introduce the next award. The next award for the 2025 Last Call Fantasy Football Awards.
It's my favorite award.
It's the Light Beer Award, bro. It's always there. It's reliable. It's someone, you know what? We ran out. Do you need it right now? No. But do you got to restock the fridge with it? Abso-freaking-lutely. You're not having
Abso-fruitedly.
Abso-fruitedly, man. You are not leaving this out of your fridge. Like, you're out. You got to restock because you just can't be without it. It's always there. Buddy's coming over.
You got to have some urgency.
Always got to have someone who's there for you, can start, expect good things. And that, to your point, Justin, is Brian Robinson Jr.
He was on my consideration list.
Okay, I was going to say, did we share? No, he was great.
Oh, wait. Before you get into this, how many are we going to have of the same? I'm guessing 0, but...
Yeah, I think we have 0.
We'll see.
Yeah. I honestly think we have 0. We felt different things, We had different players in different leagues and whatnot, so we felt things a little bit differently. I tried to take a holistic approach.
It's a little personal.
So, not all of these are players that I had. I did have Josh Jacobs, and I had Brian Robinson at one point.
I purposefully didn't pick somebody that I knew you were going to have in one. So, yeah. I don't think we'll have the same.
No, I feel like we're good. So, Brian Robinson finished the year with just under 1,000 yards while he missed time, and 8 rushing touchdowns. So, he had a solid season. He never had super boom weeks, but he was picked up in the 12th round. He was never meant to be a workhorse. He was meant to be exactly what he was, someone who you can always have on your bench, and if you need a start, you got one. And he was even better than that. He gave you great weeks and above average weeks when you just thought he was going to be someone, I need 7 to 8 to 10 points. Yeah. I just need someone who's going to get on the field. He wasn't just someone who got on the field. He was someone you were able to make moves for other players, trade some depth away, because if you had him and you knew someone got hurt, you had another player that you were happy to have. He did miss some time.
I think that's a great pick.
Yeah. And he rode my bench all year long. When I had one guy go out, I wasn't even worried. It was like I had an extra starter because I was able to just plug and play. So, the man I always want to have in my fridge is Brian Robinson. I'm just saying.
All right, Jeffrey Dahmer. Jesus.
Cheers, B-Rob.
All right. Cheers. And with that, cheers. Let's get into my Light Beer.
Who is your Michelob Ultra, Bud Light, Natty Light, Busch Cold, rockin' beer in your fridge?
Mine? Jameer Gibbs.
Jameer Gibbs?
Yeah.
You mean the RB2 on the year? He's your light beer? There's that Dom Perignon.
Listen. I was going your approach. I was honestly looking at like Brian Robinson.
You can't talk like that. You picked the Dom Perrier motherfucking ass running back.
All right, listen. For real though, I was looking at Brian Robinson. Honestly, honorable mention, I was looking at Terry McLaurin. But here's the problem. Nobody is the epiphany. Wait, is that the right word?
Epitome.
Nobody is the epitome of this award more than Jameer Gibbs. Listen to this. 88% of his games were good. He never failed you. He never had lower than 8 points in a game.
Crazy.
And he won you weeks 61% of the times. That line is 15 points per game. He was insane. He never had an off game. He never had a game where he had like 5-6 points where you had Bijan or CMC or Jonathan Taylor. Brian Robinson, Josh Jacobs, they all had down games.
Yeah.
He never had a down game, and he never missed a game.
And that just goes to show, and he even had a healthy Monty he'd put up great stats too. So.
Yeah. I mean, he's just, like I say, he's the epitome of this award. He was there for you every single week.
Okay. I respect the interpretation.
I didn't want to pick somebody. I tried to pick, lower end people. But when I saw his stats, I was like, he deserves this. So, Jahmyr Gibbs, we will be sending you an award. Look for it in your mailbox. We'll be sending you one Natty Light.
And he will respectfully decline. But we appreciate you, Jahmyr. All right. Thank you. I'll read this now. All right. The next award. We got a few more here. We got a few more. So this is one that I just created.
I'll take the tequila soda lime, if you have a second. Thanks.
Go get the guy. I got someone you got to take care of for me tonight. All right. All goofiness aside, this award is named after what I just created in the bathroom.
I hope you didn't do this.
I did. And it's the Wet Fart Award. The Wet Fart Award. Someone who just completely shat all over themselves mid-show, and they were just a complete bust.
And the winner is Kyle Connolly.
Honestly, if I could scratch this out and put my name on there, it might be more deserving than this player.
I just changed mine, so we don't have to go through mine.
You can put up my stats later, too. But the Wet Fart Award, shot all over themselves. Someone you drafted, you were so excited about, and they just completely borderline ruined your season. And that, for me, is none other than wide receiver Deebo Samuel.
Oh, wow. That's a good one.
Deebo, I don't think you.
I mean, this isn't a competition, but I would like to say I'm winning so far, but you might beat me with that one.
Oh, I'm definitely beating you, for sure, in my interpretation of these awards. So, Deebo Samuel, get this. Wide receiver 10 in ADP. Wide receiver 35 finish. And that's generous. Why are you holding that up in my face? Thank you.
Oh, sorry. I didn't
No,
realize I was doing that.
I will kill you. And I will scratch out Deebo and put your wet fart ass name right here. Wide receiver 10 ADP. Wide receiver 35 finish. He had 3 receiving touchdowns all year, and 2 of them came in week 16 and 17 in the playoffs when absolutely nobody was starting.
Nah, that was just stone cold of him to do, honestly.
Absolutely.
How dare he?
How dare he score 2/3 of his... Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me. God damn it, I gotta deal with this shit for a whole year. 2/3 of his receiving touchdowns, which was quite literally 2/3, 2 out of 3, were in the playoffs. And but Deebo, he was so safe. He has the rushing upside, and he's the Christian McCaffrey's out. He's gonna 25 rushing yards was his most in a single game this year.
Well, last year even he wasn't really the rushing guy. Which is why he took us. I think it's in his contract actually that he was not supposed to have as many rushing attempts.
Well, after it got reworked, yes, but this past year he was still coming off a good year. It just wasn't the year prior where he was the wide receiver 2. So
he was eclipsed by Brandon Ayuk the year previous. So.
Don't get me started. I could have put him there too.
Yeah. Honestly, he may.
Well, so I will say for context, I didn't hold injuries on these awards. I generally picked like players that played the year. But Deebo played all but one game, I think, or he might have even played them all. I can't even remember. It was just so bad. And he had 100 yards receiving one time.
one time throughout the whole year as a wide receiver 10 ADP. And another piece of wet fart news, he had 7 games under 5 fantasy points, which is more than what Xavier Worthy did in the Clutch Bowl Award. 7 out of 10 games under 5 fantasy points. That's awful. You can't do that as a top 10 ADP wide receiver. It's just not possible. So I will say, and maybe Justin has this, but if so, you can segue into it. My honorable mention was Jalen Waddle. So I'm not sure if he was yours, but
hey.
Last call, Zelda. Who is she gonna feed? She gonna eat them kids? Them kids walking by? Mm-hmm. But yeah. So I'm not sure if this is Justin's answer. I wanted to say honorable mention was Jalen Waddle. But
it was not.
Okay. But it was just with Tua's injury, I didn't hold half the season against the Dolphins players either. But Deebo Samuel, I ended up trading for him. I gave up not much, but it was supposed to be I had Brian Robinson on the bench for depth, and I needed another wide receiver on the bench for depth. I traded for Deebo.
Sorry
and
about that, folks.
was never able to start him.
Bitch in their place.
Oh yeah, she just walked away from your ass. She said, "You ain't my daddy."
Deebo sucked dick.
Yeah, he was just awful. It was stupid and disrespectful to the Niners and fantasy players in general. So he's my wet fart.
Without further ado, let's get
fart.
into my wet of the year.
My wet fart award. Who is it?
The wet fart of the year goes to Tank Dell.
Okay. Yeah, I give it. I mean, he did miss time, but he missed time because, right at the end of the year.
This. Yeah. He didn't really. I mean, by the time he had missed time, you were not starting him. He might have even been on your waiver wire.
Yeah.
Dude, he had 3 games over 10 points. And they weren't even win the week for you. I mean, it was 15, 16, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't anything crazy. So, I mean, that's atrocious for somebody that we thought could be a wide receiver 2 for your fantasy team. Not just a wide receiver 2 on the field, So.
And at the beginning, in the offseason, it was up in the air if he was going to be the number 1 option in Houston.
Yeah. I mean, people were drafting him thinking, is it Nico Collins or him?
Right.
So, I mean, he's
we can go back. We can go back to
our
our offseason talk where we said, hey, with Stephon Diggs, Nico, and Tank, we're one of them is going to be elite.
Yeah.
And it could be
I believe we both said Nico as well, though.
We did both say Nico. But it was really hard to put my name down on a name, put them in order because I genuinely thought it could be any of those names as a number 1. And we expected CJ Stroud to take another step, even though he regressed. So I don't see how you can.
I think
not view it as
that. I honestly think that had more to do with it than Tank Dell sucking. Well, okay, so I don't know because there's also the fact that Tank Dell went through a 5-game stretch without Nico Collins.
Yeah, he did nothing.
So it's.
I think he had one decent game in that stretch.
I don't think I'll be drafting him next year, no matter how far he falls, to be honest with you.
I mean, especially not now.
He's fallen so far. I think he might be one of those last pick. Maybe,
Yeah, well, because he will be buried in draft boards because he ruined his knee. He might even miss all of next year.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. No,
he's not even going to play next year.
He might not even play.
I believe he tore his MCL, PCL, and ACL.
with other ligament damage. Oh, and
Which
dislocated kneecap.
Oh, dude, who else did that? That just like when they came back, they were just dead.
I mean, Javonte Williams.
Was it Javonte? No, I think Javonte was just his ACL.
No, it was all three.
Okay, then yeah, that's who I was thinking about. I think
yeah. I mean, we've seen how that happened. Although
and Cam Akers too, right? Or no?
No, Cam Akers just Achilles.
Okay,
but there is a stat. Quick sidebar, because obviously I'm all day Broncos, so I see all these useless stats. Do you know who? Well, this is gonna give it away now. We're talking about him. Javonte Williams was number 2 in the entire NFL in targets at the running back position. And he was fantasy RB 37. You know who was number 1? It's Bijan Robinson.
Really?
Yeah.
That's actually pretty surprising.
So
I thought it was going to be like Achane or Gibbs or
I would have bet Achane.
Rashad White maybe.
Gibbs actually had a shockingly low number of targets this year, but no, it was Bijan, and he finished as the RB3, and
it was pretty
number 2 in that category is Javonte, who finished at RB37. So I thought that was interestingly horrible. So
that's pretty bad.
So yeah, so injury, he's toast. Never draft him again. You'll be fine. I'll be fine.
I don't think many people drafted him this year.
They did. I was actually pissed I didn't get him in the draft because he was gone so late and he was projected to be like the starter for Denver.
Really? Maybe we didn't talk about it too much. I'm sure we did at some point, but I was burnt from the year previous because I drafted him last year.
I just figured he would get another year healthier. I just chalked it up to his first year back after that injury. So now
I was more interested in Jaleel McLaughlin this year, but just from the start of the season, he was nothing. So,
also quick tidbit, and we can move on. Denver has not had a running back go for over 100 yards since 2015.
It's DJ Anderson.
Yes, not in one single game since 2015. The only team in the NFL to not have a 100-yard rusher.
And you guys have Melvin Gordon.
That ain't saying much.
To be honest, though. Melvin Gordon had to be pretty close. Like, he wasn't that bad his first year with you guys.
Other than fumbling every other carry, he was fine. But he couldn't stay on the field. They split work with him and Javonte because that was the whole deal. We were like, get Javonte the ball. But we're getting off track. This is award show. Thank you.
You're right.
Awards to go.
We need to be professional.
Let's get this show on the road. So, I didn't have any stats pulled up on Jalen Waddle but he was my honorable mention. Put that eyebrow away, motherfucker. Thank you. What the fuck? Speaking of what the fuck, that's the next award. It's the WTF award. This is
what the fuck?
What the fuck?
What the fuck, Richard?
The fuck, Becky. Anyways. Becky says that this guy, you made you so mad. You couldn't play him. You didn't know what to do. You thought you could play him, but you couldn't. You never could. You never knew. He's like, what the fuck? So that's who this is. Person you couldn't figure out. Never knew what to do with. It was super frustrating. And at the end of the day, it might have worked out. It might not. I don't know. Because you don't know. What the fuck? This award goes to Jordan Addison. I want to kill myself after hearing that. And after having to deal with Jordan Addison's fantasy complications.
Wow. That one, I gotta say, that's a shit take.
What do you mean, bro? He had monstrous boom games. But either came on the
end of the season, he was pretty consistent, was he not?
Yeah.
Wasn't he like the wide receiver 7 through like the last 10 games?
He finished as wide receiver 18 with a wide receiver 48 ADP. That was the first what the fuck. Because he was drafted low like crazy. It took forever for you to get him into the lineup. And
oh, you're saying what the fuck in a good way.
No. Well, it's not necessarily anyway. It's what the fuck, because you don't know what this is. That's the whole point. You don't know what this player is because
He was great down the stretch, but it came on the back of some weird games. He would have yards of like 32 yards and a couple scores, or he would have 150 yards and no scores. You don't know what type of player he is. You don't know what type of player he is.
It was the fact that their season was backloaded with a bunch of really good cornerbacks. So Justin Jefferson was getting taken out of games, and Sam Darnold is actually good, so he was targeting Jordan Addison.
But the way that those games came, too, he would have high touchdown games, low yards, or the opposite. He would have high yardage games, no touchdowns.
Yeah, so he was almost Terry McLaurin
and then
yeah, he was Terry McLaurin and then.
I just don't know. I don't know how to feel about Jordan Addison next year because, like, he
will be.
He did this last year. He had 10 touchdowns as a rookie last year. He had less this year. But he was still good. He was a wide receiver 18.
But we didn't expect it because last year Justin Jefferson was hurt for that portion of the year where he took off.
But he was still good when he was there. He had way too many touchdowns for the amount of receptions that he had. And so we were like, oh, he's not going to score as many. It was too high of a touchdown rate. But I don't know, man. And then with Jordan or Sam Darnold in the mix, like WTF with Jordan.
It's nice to see, I will say, because we would have thought that he would be super relevant with no Kirk Cousins.
Why do you think he was wide receiver 48?
The fact that he can do this with Sam Darnold, even if JJ McCarthy does take over, gives me some confidence in him next year.
But that's again
to be like a wide receiver 3 for my team.
That's another unknown. That's another WTF. Like where are we gonna get?
At this point, I don't think that I would be. You would have to put like Trey Lance or
get body
someone just somebody atrocious on that team for me to be worried because.
Okay, so tell me after.
I don't think Sam Darnold himself. I think if Sam Darnold goes to another team, I still don't think he's going to be great. Maybe he's taken a few steps forward, but I think this is Kevin O'Connell.
It could be. I mean, but so tell me this. After this season, what is your highest round you would take Jordan Addison? Would you take him as your wide receiver 2 then? He finished as a wide receiver 2.
First of all, we need to do a mock draft soon. I want to be the first fantasy football show to do a mock draft for the 25 season.
I don't think the apps are updated yet.
Shh, keep your voice down.
Okay.
We don't want them to hear us.
We also don't have rookies, so that makes it really hard.
You're right. We have to wait till March.
God damn it.
Fuck.
April. The draft's in April.
What the fuck?
See?
Okay.
On brand. So, no, but answer the question, then you can go for yours. So he finished as wide receiver 18. Are you comfortable him being your wide receiver?
Okay.
2?
I will say, wide receiver 2. I don't know. It I guess depends how you construct your team, obviously, but I'll say this: I think he will be like a Jayden Reed player next year.
But Jayden Reed was in like the 6th or 7th round.
Right. I think that's where he's going to
go. I don't think you post top 24 wide receiver marks 2 years in a row and go in the 6th round.
I think the stigma of him still being behind Justin Jefferson, I mean, it's just like T. Higgins.
Yeah, but T. Higgins was a 4th round pick. 3rd, 4th round pick. I'm just saying, I don't know how to.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But
yet.
they are going.
WTF.
I'm just saying that they are going to send Sam Darnold somewhere else next year, like JJ McCarthy.
Oh, I don't know about that. Ooh. I lost him. Justin, no.
I'm back.
Oh, he's back. I'm not back. I'm black.
Oh, no.
I'm black right now.
Out of all the things you said tonight, that has to be the worst one.
Well, you know what? We'll get there. I don't know what happened, but we froze. But y'all can still hear me, so I mean, I guess that's cool.
Okay. So did you hear what I said though? That JJ McCarthy is going to start for the Vikings.
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all. I've heard more rumors about them shopping JJ McCarthy
and re-signing Sam Darnold than the opposite. I think it's worth it because J.J. McCarthy hasn't played. I am back. J.J. McCarthy hasn't played a game. He's had 2 surgeries since then and haven't gone that well. And you got teams that are quarterback hungry, who this kid was a top 10 pick the previous year. You don't have to pay top 10 price, but if they can get a second-round pick or a first-round pick for...
They're also saying that J.J. McCarthy this year would be the first overall pick.
Exactly. Well, to my point, they would be
They're
willing
saying
to
in this draft class, he would be the best quarterback.
I still don't agree. I really like Cam Wharton-Shedeur, but I'm saying that proves my point. Like, teams would be willing to give up their first to get J.J. McCarthy if the Vikings are satisfied. Like, they can.
It will. You're right. But it's going to heavily depend on how Sam Darnold does in the playoffs, because if he gives them a first round exit, 100% he's not coming back, because they're going to know, okay, we can't go over the hump with Sam Darnold.
It's 1 year. They just won 14 games. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I think
this is a
likely.
Super Bowl winning team. They have a top 3 defense, if not top 2 or top 1. I mean, they have a top 3 defense. They have Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson, a great O-line, Aaron Jones. I mean, this team is insane around.
I know they're built to win now. That's all I'm saying is, if I would rather Sam Darnold be back and me draft Jordan Addison than if it was J.J. McCarthy. You can't tell me that you would be more comfortable with J.J. McCarthy than you would Sam Darnold. There's no way. Not after what he's put on display this year. That's why he fell down in the draft.
Truthfully, yeah. That's what I'm saying, though. Yes, I think that I will not draft Jordan Addison as high as he probably should go because of J.J. McCarthy.
Oh, okay. Which is fair.
But I still think, but I'm only saying that because I think he'll struggle to begin the season. But I do think that Kevin O'Connell is a quarterback whisperer, so.
Could be. Anyways.
All right.
Who's your WTF?
We got into my what the fuck award. My what the fuck award goes to Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. That one made me say what the fuck a lot.
Yeah, this honestly wasn't more of a what the fuck. It was more of a what the fuck.
No, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I've got some stats here, dude. This is very eye-opening. I knew it would be bad when I looked into this stat, but I didn't think it would be this bad. Tyreek Hill had 149 fantasy points this year.
Yeah, that's awful.
He had 293 fantasy points last year. That's a 144 point difference.
That doesn't sound like right math, but I agree. Because it's just about double.
It is.
That would be 100%
minus 144. What? I didn't say any percentage.
You said 144%.
No, I said 100. What?
Oh, I thought you said 144.
I might have. You guys will have to check the tape. Anyways,
144
144-point difference.
Okay.
I thought that's what I said, but
I think you said percent, and I'm like, that's not right, math.
144
point stance.
Point difference.
Yes.
Yes, it's about double.
So Tyreek had as many points in this season as he did in half of
and
last season.
Honestly, he performed okay down like at the end of the season. Weeks 2 through 10, he didn't even get to 10 points. Weeks 2 through 10.
Yeah, I love how he excluded week 1 where he had like 24 points, which gave hope.
Yeah,
Tyreek was
back. We're talking about a huge stretch of the season.
Yeah, I know. I had him. I had him for about half of that.
Yeah, that whole stretch. Yeah.
Well, Caleb had him for some of that. That was the Tua stretch, and Tua stretch plus. Yeah, he just like had a false promise of hope, and
you thought he's a non-bust player. You thought him and Christian McCaffrey, there's no way they bust.
Well, but I give Christian McCaffrey a pass because we were
Although
lied to about
Tyreek
his
Hill busts
health.
a lot.
Well,
Because another stat I have is that he had 5 children this year.
he did bust a lot. And sometimes you bust a nut just for the nut to bust
in
you.
case you did not hear what I just said, Tyreek Hill does not have 5 children. Tyreek Hill had 5 children born this year. That's insane.
Yeah, he's, decent football player.
No wonder he's still playing.
Despicable
It's a
human.
lot of alimony.
Hey, I was talking about it at work today or the other day, and I was like, hey, he's got all these different baby mamas. He better play for another contract because you got to dish out. These women are going to be wanting $400,000 a month to take care of these kids.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. So, just one tidbit on Tyreek, and then we can move on because, yeah, he did WTF everyone this year. I heard, did you hear that he said that he hurt his wrists in the encounter with the police?
Yeah, it was like his wrist or his shoulder or something. Yeah.
He, that's why he was questionable for the second half of the year was wrist. Apparently, he broke his wrist in a preseason game this year. He broke his wrist in a preseason game this year and tried to play through the whole thing. And just pinned it on the cops.
So yeah, I mean, maybe he got re-injured.
Right, but he broke his wrist. So I'm not excusing any of it because it wasn't like he was... I mean, he did.
I will say this,
passes, but
I will still draft him pretty highly next year because, especially with that news, just because he ended up doing pretty decent down the stretch.
Yeah, but you're not into Tyreek Hill for pretty decent. You're into Tyreek Hill because he is a cheat code at fantasy football and can run faster and catch the deep bombs and get you monster points. If you want someone that can guarantee you 80 and a touchdown, draft Amon-Ra. Don't mess around with the prospect of Tyreek Hill. I don't know. I'm just not.
Well, yeah, he's not going to go that high next year.
I know.
Honestly, it does depend on what team he goes to, I guess, because
if he's
said,
out,
I'm fucking out. I see a lot of people saying Commanders, so we'll see.
Nah, that would be fun.
It would kind of suck because
it'd be fun for the NFL, not fantasy purposes. It'd be fun for the NFL, but
yeah.
Anyways, all right. WTF on Tyreek Hill. Let's go to our final accolade award. This is our final accolade award. This is essentially our favorite fantasy player to watch this year. Favorite fantasy player of the year, which we dubbed the bottom of the bag French fry award. You get the McDonald's bag and you're sitting there and inevitably eating someone else's fries in the bag on the way home and giving them the half-eaten one.
Uh-huh.
Everybody does that. And you get home and
it's my favorite fry.
And you divide out the fries, you divide out the food.
Especially at Checkers.
And then you get to be the one to divide the stuff out. So you're in control of the bag. You got the bag. And this might be the origination of I got the bag, because if you got the bag, you can reach in the bottom of that bag and you get the bottom of the bag French fries. Those are bonus fries.
Those fries taste a lot better.
They're so good. They feel like naughty, They feel like, oh, I shouldn't have this. I shouldn't.
Maybe you want to spank me.
Yeah. Whoa. They're just fries that I'm not supposed to have you, but look at you. And then sometimes you even get like an onion ring or something. You get something you're really not supposed to have.
Choke me, daddy.
We're talking about food here, man. Anyways, so my favorite player to watch this year, bottom of the bag French fry award, goes to none other than the newest member of the 2K club, Saquon Barkley.
All right now.
Saquon Barkley.
Oh, dude, that's...
He was so fun to watch. As a Jalen Hurts manager, I watched all the Eagles games. Him showing...
How are you going to give me shit about picking Jahmyr Gibbs and you're going to pick Saquon Barkley?
Listen, this was my favorite player to watch. This is not... I didn't have him on any of my teams. This was my favorite fantasy player. And to watch what the hell he was doing... envious
he did
that I
need to be
didn't
picked,
have
so.
on my team. Yeah, no, this was because clearly he was the running back that you would want to have out of any other backs.
Right.
And this year he was chasing all kinds of records, was chasing Eric Dickerson's record, and either he pussied out or the team pussied out and didn't let him chase it. Not to mention the reverse hurdle game.
They didn't let him play. He was actually pretty mad about that.
Well, then, yeah, I'd be pissed. So screw the Eagles for that. But this was, I mean,
but
you can't forget.
What? I keep cutting you off.
Yes.
But to be fair, Eric Dickerson did in 16 games.
I don't care. He had 30 more carries than Saquon did.
Yeah, he did in 16 games.
He had 30 more carries. That's fine.
I mean, he didn't have an extra opportunity.
Okay, but the coach gave him 30 more carries. You can't talk about games.
Maybe he deserved 30 more carries.
Like Saquon Barkley this year wouldn't have deserved any carry he
got. Listen, offenses or defenses more so were a lot bigger and stacked the box more back then, so it was harder to run on.
I don't care about that. That's nonsense.
It's true.
First of all, I'm not pining for Saquon's record here. I'm just saying it was fun to watch. He was chasing records. He had
he would have got it.
Yeah, against the Giants, the final week of the game, yeah. Absolutely.
Final week of the game.
Absolutely, man. He had that 49-point game, not to mention the reverse hurdle game. That was probably the most insane football move I've ever seen.
That move, do you think in the long run that's going to be more popular than the Odell catch?
No. I don't think it is.
Me neither.
But
I don't think so either.
But I had to think about it for half a second.
For me, I like it.
Dude, it was the most insane
thing
I've ever seen.
Does it eclipse the Derrick Henry stiff arm?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, big time. Yeah, that's
more. Where he stiff armed like 3 people?
Yeah. That's just like an insane stiff arm. This was, my man, not only, you forget, he juked out one guy, spun around the other. That's how he got backwards. Somehow knew the defender he was there, cleared him, and the only thing that would have made it better is if he scored after that. But other than that, iconic. He had 7 games. This is crazy. Let's compare here. 7 games over 25 points. 7 games over 25 points. Let's go back to Mr. Wet Fart over here, Deebo Samuel, who had 7 games under 5 fantasy points. And he was a playoff MVP. Saquon, he had like 8 points in the first round, whatever. Then 30 plus and 20 plus. Like he won you championships. He was the best. And he was just the best to watch. And he was a player I kicked myself over not trying to acquire because I had Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. I didn't want to load up on the Eagles. Stupid Kyle. You might still be alive if you made some moves and realize that, hey, great players are great players. They're going to get theirs no matter what. So that was my bottom of the bag French fry award. Favorite player to watch.
All right, we'll get into mine. My bottom of the bag French fry award goes to none other than Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, he was great.
Good job, Terry.
Finally.
And this is more of like, obviously, I had Jamar Chase on my team. I had Bijan. I had Jonathan Taylor. There's players that did better than him, but it was just so gratifying watching a player that you knew was so damn good for so many years be stuck with fucking Sam Howell and Carson Wentz.
It's Taylor Heinicke.
Yeah. And finally,
Dwayne Haskins.
He's good. And great, actually. So here's the stat that was eye-opening to me. He had good games, over 10 points, 72% of the time this year.
Yeah. He finished as a top, 5 wide receiver on the year?
Yeah.
He's
top.
great.
I think he was number 5, yes. Guess what that was last year? Guess what that percentage was last year?
22%.
That's pretty close. It's 27%.
Damn, I'm good at this.
And that's why he's my favorite player of this year. Because if you were the one who drafted him, You get to put your stamp on that.
And
That
I
you
was a
believe.
certified Terry McLaurin hater. Only, I'd like the player. Don't get me wrong. Like,
Yeah.
but he was just a person. He had that stank on him. He had a very
He did.
similar Michael Pittman.
It was a scary person to draft.
He has a Michael Pittman stank, or he did. The stank that Michael Pittman Jr. has for me right now, Terry McLaurin had that. It's like I recognize like they're a talented player, but it's like I don't care. Like it's just I'm out. Like it's just not something that's worth it to me. So.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. He went up almost 50%.
Yeah, and half of that was Jaden Daniels' first 3 games of the year. After that, it was almost 100% hit rate.
It was actually. It was, and then he only had like 2 stinkers after that.
I will say,
and honestly, I only calculated the good games, but there's a lot of excellent games as well.
Yeah, well, he had that one against the Cowboys where he had that 90-yard touchdown run to win the game or seal the game.
Well, yeah, he was only bad 1 game in the playoffs. He was really good the other 2.
Well, but that one game was what, 1 catch for 5 yards or something?
It was very bad.
Yeah,
it was like 7 yards. Yeah.
So
he was questionable going into that week, so I assume that was due to injury. But
how dare you slander my Saquon take?
I didn't slander it.
Well, you said I called you a baby back bitch for picking Jameer on one of these awards, and I was like, this is different. This is a favorite player award. This is not an accolade.
Yeah, I guess.
But speaking of shit takes, I'm so good at these little segues. You know, we have the Shame Award. The Shame Award. This is
shame.
Our
without worst. Love, shame. Can't get enough.
You know it's pain, right?
I know.
Okay. Okay. Sure. You know I know you don't be knowing lyrics.
I don't be.
But yeah, so this is just our worst take of the year. So this one was a slam dunk for me. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Super hyped for this player. I don't think half of it's my fault. It might still have been.
Okay, so you went the opposite direction that I went. You picked a player that you thought would do good and did bad, but I picked a player that I thought would do bad and did good.
Oh, yeah. I already know who your player is and who it should be anyways, so you should know mine. So Shame either way, for reverse order, whatnot. Thought he was going to be great. Sucked. Major dong. There's my boy, Amari Cooper. I
didn't know that. Yeah, no, I was not expecting that.
Really? Do you not remember how high I was on Amari Cooper this year?
Okay, to be honest, I thought that your Shat or What the Fuck or Shame Award, I thought one of those had to be Breece Hall.
No, I couldn't do Breece Hall because he wasn't.
That was the player I was talking about that I didn't pick because I thought you would pick.
I mean, Breece Hall, I think if I had to put them in one of these categories, it would be the WTF because...
Yeah, that's category.
Because he averaged over 5 a carry. And he was like decent. Yeah. I'll do my brief Breece Hall sidebar. He did not look like an elite NFL player. That was my issue. I was watching those games intently. He was finding holes, getting there. He was going down on first contact. He didn't look like elite. I mean, he had holes and he would run the ball well. He just didn't and he also had no emotion. It looked like he didn't want to be there. So that would be my WTF is they didn't use him well. He was fine, but that's not what you drafted. So what the fuck?
He didn't impress.
Exactly.
On the field.
So, but no, it's Amari Cooper because
Braylon Allen actually looked much better.
Right, and that was the issue. That's why I was so scared because I thought
at some point they would make the switch, but they never did. So at least that kind of gives you a little confidence going into next year.
Yeah. God damn it, Breece. But Amari Cooper, I can't believe you don't remember how high on Amari Cooper I was.
I do. I just thought
loved
for sure.
Amari Cooper. I gave all these stats on how great he was with Deshaun Watson, with Joe Flacco last year. He was great. And I still think that's my only caveat here is I still think he does have the skills. See that touchdown catch he had with Josh Allen and the Bills? He's still elite.
He's in his Larry Fitzgerald moonlight.
I'm not quite there, but the point is this is a shame because this was a take on fantasy football this year. I drafted him as my second wide receiver.
I went
He's
Cooper
your
Kupp
AJ
first.
Green.
Yeah. He's
100% your AJ Green. I feel what you're feeling right now.
I'm just saying he was primed to like be back to where he was supposed to be. Then the Deshaun Watson situation clearly didn't work out. Then he got hurt, and then he got traded. And this was the kicker. He was highly drafted by me, and the false hope of the glory trade to the Bills. In a dream scenario, it's Josh Allen doesn't have a wide receiver one. They trade for Amari Cooper at the trade deadline because he is.
Well, little did you know, Keon Coleman, baby.
Well, little did I know that no one gave a fuck about who they threw the ball to. It was just, I mean,
yeah. Honestly, I think Khalil Shakir is the number one on that team right now.
Of course he is, and it's just because that's the way they're playing football, and that's the biggest thing. Is like the scheme did not match up with any other normal team. You can't tell me you watch the Buffalo Bills and see you watch them. They just don't operate like a normal football team. They don't. It's not you watch a Bills game, it doesn't seem like NFL football. It just seems different. It's just weird and it works. Super dumb.
Yeah.
And
they're kind of playing like Kyle Shanahan football.
It's just all over the place. And you don't know what's going to happen. And clearly it was not giving Amari Cooper more than 3 targets a game. So I'm ashamed of my take on Amari Cooper and ashamed that I drafted him in the 5th round as my wide receiver 2.
All right. Next segment.
Hell no. This is my favorite point because I drilled this point home, and I swear to God, if you pussied out and you cowered out on this shame award take, I will never forgive you. So please explain to me what your worst take of the year was and is.
Okay. My shame player award goes to Anthony Richardson. Because we all thought that
You take that shit back right now, and you tell me what your actual worst take is. Because it wasn't.
I almost did go Anthony Richardson, though, because
that's not a bad one. Too. But there's one egregious take that needs to be rectified.
All right. It was Saquon Barkley.
That he was specifically, and I quote, washed.
I may have said that. I still don't think that those words ever came out of my mouth.
Did, indeed.
I do think that I said that he is not as good as he once was.
You did say he lost his step.
Back.
And that he's washed.
I will say I do think the Eagles have the best O-line.
It's up there.
In the country.
Which is fine.
So I do think that's part of it. But I don't think he's lost a step. I think that's just helping him achieve the greatest running back season of all time.
Right. And Saquon, for context, was a startable person you were, decently happy to have on your team with the Giants in those shit years.
Yeah.
So
I could have drafted him number 1 overall.
Yeah.
I took Bijan over him, which, whatever.
Fine. But
I mean, whatever.
I think I took fucking Breece Hall over Saquon. So
yeah.
Put that down. We're not
Bijan was fine.
Finished yet. Stop it.
What? Oh, shit. Dude. How'd I get there? I don't know. That thing's just sneaking up on me.
We're shit-talking you right now. This is supposed to be your moment of repentance. you can't hide behind the shiny shadow of your trophy. You need to repent. Say, I'm sorry, Saquon Barkley. You gave us an all-time highlight.
I'm sorry, Saquon.
I needed to give you more respect for being a top 3
I needed to give you more respect. And I should have known that you were going to be a top 3 back in the NFL because you were so good with the Giants. So, Saquon Barkley, I am terribly, terribly sorry. I will be drafting you number 1 overall next year after I win our March Madness bracket.
I'm just going to clip the audio and not show you flexing your ring at the camera this whole time, and I'm going to hold on to that. Because for the record, Mr. Barkley, I was on the opposite side. I was very much excited to draft you. I was just a
But yet you drafted Breece Hall over him.
Dummy fuck and went for Mr. Breece Hall. So
Dummy fuck.
I'll let you round out with our final award for the night. So enough of the doom and gloom last call fantasy football you suck takes. Let's finish it off with
let's get into the receipts.
The receipts.
You're gonna let me start this off?
I'm gonna let you start this off.
I'm a legit NFL scout award goes to Ja'Marr fucking Chase.
Yeah.
Because
top 3 skilled wide receiver might finish as the number 1 overall wide receiver.
No. Listen,
that's a
I have
receipts.
Bold take. It will be posted on Instagram. I claimed on our the bold prediction show, that Ja'Marr Chase would, not might or could, would finish as the wide receiver number 1. And we're talking about Ja'Marr Chase, wide receiver number 1. Triple Crown winner, 309 points, which, by the way, is more than Tyreek Hill last year. We all remember how good Tyreek Hill was last year. And 51 points in Week 10, Ja'Marr Chase.
Yeah. I mean, he's like I
Honorable
said.
mention for me was my Tyrone Tracy take.
We'll rehash those takes on a separate episode, so you can get your shit off then. But yes, Ja'Marr Chase.
I just got a little Brock card.
That was a good call. I mean, it doesn't take much cojones to get there. But I will say he finished by far and away the number 1 wide receiver.
Yeah, you knew he was gonna be number 1 at Week 9.
Well, he's the only, I can't remember the number. The Triple Crown winners, the last one was Cooper Kupp, which, by the way, did you see the comparison? Like, between their stats?
I know Cooper Kupp had him by a lot, yardage-wise.
Had him by a lot.
Like 300 yards.
I mean, he had 270 more yards than Ja'Marr Chase did, and 2 more touchdowns.
Yeah.
Or no, sorry, 1 less touchdown than Ja'Marr. But the number 1 wide receiver in our league, Ja'Marr Chase, had 309 fantasy points with 1,700 yards and 17 touchdowns. Number 2 was Justin Jefferson with 170 less yards and 7 less touchdowns. He had 78 less fantasy points than number 1 than Ja'Marr Chase. So it was not even close at all. Between
not really.
touchdowns and no other receiver had more than 13, and that was Terry McLaurin.
I mean, that's 63 less points right there just from the touchdowns. And in our league, at least, we do the bonus points for long touchdowns, so that might have something to do with that.
I mean, for that number specifically, but he would still be the number 1.
Yeah,
by far.
By a lot, yeah.
I guess I didn't even realize this till looking at it right now. Fun fact, you had the number 1 and number 2 leading touchdown scorers at the wide receiver position this year. That'll win you a championship.
Oh, wow.
You had 30 touchdowns combined between Ja'Marr Chase and Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, well, because Terry would have those games where he'd have 19. I think he had a game where he had 19 yards, but he had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. I'm not seeing anyone here with more than 13. Yeah, number 1 and 2. The next closest was Amon-Ra with 12, and Brian Thomas Jr. and Justin Jefferson with 10. Well, and Mike Evans with 11. That helps. 10 for T. Higgins. T. Higgins had 10 touchdowns?
Holy shit.
You learn something new every day, kids. But, all right. So, legit NFL scout. We do this. I do this. And this is you fought me so hard on this. This is why this is my take here. You where it is.
This opportunity to attack me.
Listen, you reap the benefits so you can quit complaining. It was that Brock Bowers was going to finish as a top 5 fantasy tight end this year.
I never fucking fought you on that.
Yes, you did. You said, Brock Bowers. And I said, listen, bro, you don't understand Brock Bowers. He's the
Okay, I was never
Mackey Award
a
winner.
hater of Brock Bowers, though.
No, but you said that's
I said
crazy.
that would be tough, but it's possible.
Nah, you vehemently disagreed. You said you don't think it's going to happen. You didn't say, like, ain't no way in hell. But
yeah,
Brock Bowers not only finished as the top 5, and I even said in points per game as a cushion there. And I knew that Brock Bowers was going to take the fuck off. I didn't realize he was going to break every record in the book, which was stupid by me because I knew how great he was.
Did he win the points per game?
Yeah, he's number 1 in everything.
I thought. No, he's number 2 in our league.
And
George Kittle
in
surely
points per
had more
game.
points per game.
I would have to see. Hold on.
It doesn't matter though. It was a great take.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. So did Brock Bowers miss any games? Because that will be. He did.
I don't think he did.
No, he did not miss any games. So George Kittle missed 1 game. So I think that might get him over that hump. But regardless, if not 1, he's number 2. He was insane. So Brock Bowers being that dude, and I even said I would have been satisfied him being my number 1 tight end. And I remember saying this.
Sure.
Well, like last year, like in the draft, I would have been satisfied leaving with him only if I knew he was going to start. Like if I knew that he was going to like start and be the tight end like on the field, it would have been by far. I would have been fine with it.
Yeah, I mean, there was a little bit of scare of like, I don't know.
You can't stop looking at that, bro.
I didn't know if Michael Mayer would start over him.
But yes. I also was looking at our bold takes, and I went 2.5 out of 4. So we'll go.
That's pretty good. I mean, they're bold takes.
I know.
I know one of mine was that the Colts had a top 5 offense, so I know that did not hit.
Mine was that Christian Watson was going to be the undisputed one for the.
Yeah, I actually was listening through our bold prediction show a little bit to find the Jamar Chase clip, and I saw that clip, and I was like, shit.
To be fair, it wasn't undisputed, but I don't think it was like out of the question when all of them were healthy and playing. But we'll go through that in more detail. But yeah, Brock Bowers being that dude was my best take of the year.
It's a pretty good one.
And that's it. That'll round us out. We had a long episode going through these awards. We had to give one final hurrah to the 2025 and reluctantly the 25.
Do you know who I was trying to like mimic with this suit? Is it obvious or no? I feel like I just look like a douche. I'm not gonna lie.
I was gonna say,
just looking at myself, I feel like I just look like a fucking douche. But I was trying to, I'm supposed to be fucking Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, that wasn't giving Ryan Fitzpatrick, man. I thought at first you were going back to like Kirk Chains with the no shirt, and then
I did almost put a bunch of chains on because Ryan Fitzpatrick had the chains on.
But no, I just thought some Hollywood eccentric is what you were going for.
Honestly, I don't give a fuck because I had to bring in my trophy. So
I say the champ got to do what the champ got to do. But that's it. 2025 season is over. I have to wait 340 number of days to redeem myself.
I honestly, I think before we end the show, we should stunt on these hosts.
I don't know what that means. How are we
just get up, show off your suit, and give us a little twirl.
I can't.
Are you not wearing pants?
I'm not wearing matching pants.
Are you wearing like sweatpants?
No, at least okay. But I mean, I'm wearing my work pants.
Oh, I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah, the shirt's not tucked in. I mean, listen, man, this is the whole Zoom culture we're in right now, where you just throw on the top. We're sitting down. This ain't a full on podcast. What do you got? Are you got pants on?
Yeah, I got pants on. I'll show you.
I don't. Why do you have assless pants, bro?
What are you talking about?
Why do you have assless pants? Why do you cut your pants like that?
You don't cut your pants like this?
No! Imagine if my ass was out, though. Oh my god. Well, if that doesn't...
There's always a surprise. You have to watch to the end of the show. There's always a surprise.
If that doesn't sum up season 1 of Last Call of Fantasy Football, I don't know what does. We had fun. And I can't even think right now, bro. And also, why was your ass so red? Just from sitting down?
Oh, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I haven't seen it in a while.
But we're going to be around in the off season. Like I said, no specific schedule. We're going to try some new stuff out. We're going to have fun with it. And I'm looking forward to, we're going to do some recaps because we kept all these receipts on our bold predictions, our rankings, preseason rankings. We have the favorite draft picks and the grades we gave those. What else we have in here?
I can't wait for getting into the rookies and how we think they're going to do.
Yeah, we have our. Once
the combine's going to be awesome.
Yeah, well, and God, I'm gonna deal with Justin and his trophy for the next year. Although, still can't. He has one more chance to tie me next year in total rings. So I still had the lead, and I'm feeling pretty comfortable. So
we'll see.
All right, for the last time.
It'd be a shame if I went back to back.
It would be a shame, and I hope that never happens. I will prefer to be the only one to have gone back to back in our league. Thank you. So without further ado, for the last time in 2025, our champ Justin, I will give you the honors of signing us out. Yes.
Oh my God.
It's the only piece of honor I will give you.
Thank you. And with that, this is Last Call for Fantasy Football. Goodbye.
Deuces.